Do I have bad integrity for calling off on my second to last day of work? I'm a 17F and my second to last day of work is coming up and my parents are trying to pressure me into going and saying I have bad integrity for not wanting to go. First of all, the company doesn't care about me and they've already replaced me tenfold. Second of all, it's a closing shift, and I literally can't stand those for the life of me. I feel so much dread and anxiety and horror just thinking about going one more time, and my parents know this. I say that the company is lucky that I even put a 2 weeks notice in and that I am only skipping one day. I just don't see any value whatsoever of going. At all. All this it shows your character and makes you feel good is just a bunch of bullshit. Just not sure how to feel. They don't own you. If you don't want to go, don't go. Just remember, if they were the ones ending the business relationship, they wouldn't have given you even 2 hours notice. If you don't need the money for those hours and you know you will get your last check without hassle, then yeah dude just don't show up, man shrugging. Go in and do absolutely fuck all. Like take a nap in the back room and whatnot. Make yourself talked about as legend for years. If it is gonna mess with you, I'd go in. Will help you set up a habit of doing what you said you would. Not for them in any way but for you and your self-image. Your asking leads me to think you are on the fence about it. But not gonna be a huge deal if you do bail, either. Just do what is right for you. Did the schedule just come out or not? If the schedule came out today and I didn't want to work that shift, I have no problems telling them no. If the schedule came out a week ago and you didn't object earlier and other people have made plans, I think you should go in. If they fired you, would they have given you notice? Nah. It's fine. Although you don't really owe them and consequences of bailing are low none, you did give a 2-week notice and committed to it. Going shows integrity. If you had no intention of fulfilling the commitment, you had no hard responsibility to give them any notice at all. I say go and know you did the right thing. If you intend to use them as a reference for future applications, go. If not, don't go. They wouldn't give a flying fuck about firing you day one of your 2 weeks. Don't give a fuck about ending it early. Companies owe you nothing and you owe them not a damn thing. Enjoy your night off. You deserve it. What? Are they gonna fire you? Enjoy your night. More seriously, consider if you're ever gonna need them as a reference. That would be the only reason to stick around to the bitter end. You don't owe them anything but just think about whether you might need their reference for future jobs. It might be worth putting up with one more day. People have shit come up or get sick even on their 2-week notice. That's real life. Depends on why you quit and if you're gonna need the recommendation. If you already have another job lined up, then you don't need the rec. Do you ever plan on going back to work there again? Also, did they treat you with respect and integrity? If there's any hesitation on that answer, then fuck 'em, they didn't even deserve the 2 weeks. You're 17, exercise that free will while you can. Just contemplating your integrity indicates you're a good egg, emo. Also, general life advice: wear sunscreen, rainbow. First of all, the company doesn't care about me and they've already replaced me tenfold. No company will ever care about you, ever. So, you should never care about the company you work for, ever. Respect is reciprocal, and you never owe it unless you get it. If you need the money, just clock in and literally do nothing. If you don't need the money, just bail on them. What are they gonna do? Fire you? Integrity in relation to your responsibility to a business you're working for is a boomer-ass concept and only benefits the rich. Fuck that job. No, you don't have bad integrity. You stood up for yourself, which shows great personal integrity. My mother was the same way, and has walked back from this as we've both gotten older. At your age, I was struggling to find my moral compass, and one thing someone said to me about having integrity is that it means you do what you know is right, no matter if no one or everyone is looking. If you're wondering if you have integrity, I suggest using that as a measuring rod rather than what your parents' definition of integrity might be. It helped me. You have it or you don't. You can't have bad integrity. Your parents can have their opinions, but it doesn't force you to do anything. I took a seasonal job in December and made a point to use the sick days that they provided because not using them is leaving money on the table. Just tell your parents they took you off the schedule, then don't bother showing up. Unless your parents also work there, they won't know. Enjoy your night off. If your parents are more worried about integrity towards a shitty job than they are about their own kids' feelings, that's messed up, and I wouldn't worry about telling a small lie. Nope, and notices are bullshit. You should leave the day you quit, as they'll escort your ass right out the second they lay you off. You say I just don't see any value whatsoever of going at all. All this it shows your character and makes you feel good is just a bunch of bullshit. Then say, just not sure how to feel. And then post on a Antiwork sub to try and make you feel better, because obviously, everyone will say stuff like yeah fuck it, you don't have to do anything, fuck companies. And then wonder why the meme is young people don't want to work. You should fulfill your 2 weeks and go in unless you're sick or have an emergency. It's the right thing to do. Why don't you dread it so much? You're scheduled. You committed to it by saying you would work through that date when you turned in your notice. Go to work. It's just today. Face it. You will survive. When your parents were your age, it was worth showing good integrity. No longer the case, so live your life as you damn well please. No. You're human. And besides, you're leaving anyway, so what does it matter? Don't do it for your boss. Do it for your coworkers. The ones who will have to pick up the slack if you call out. The ones dealing with the same bullshit you're dealing with. Your parents have a point. Going to work under these circumstances is a display of your character and integrity. Think about whether your employer and coworkers deserve it and make your decision. If you gave 2 weeks and committed to that, I agree with your parents that it's the right thing to do to finish it out. Yeah, shitty integrity, but consequences? No. Go to work. It's one day. You're only 17. Listen to your parents. If it was slow and they didn't need you, would they cancel you at the last moment? If they would, then you don't owe them any better. I would go if I were you. Your parents are right. I'm going to buck the trend here and say go. Personally, I'm a man of my word, and if I said I was going to work X amount more shifts, I hold to my promises. Not for them, but for me. I know I do what I say I'm going to do. You owe them nothing. I have my 2 weeks notice at a job and called out for all of it. I had 110 hours of sick time saved that would just go away. Fuck em. Expect it's not a bunch of bullshit. Finish it through. You're 17. It absolutely doesn't matter. Also, you'll learn over the coming years it also doesn't matter what your parents think either. Don't wanna go? Don't. Fuck it. Your job at 17 has no bearing on the job you'll have at 18, 19, 20. None whatsoever. Not a good sign if you're doing shit like this already. I think your parents are wrong. It has nothing to do with integrity. You are not dealing with personal friendship but a business relationship. Tell them you won't be in. These corporations pay you what amounts to slavery. Leave with no remorse. You owe them nothing. Honestly, I have never seen a young lady finish out her notice. I doubt anyone will be surprised if you don't show up. Just don't go. Companies have zero integrity to employees, so your parents need to stop being mindless company drones. You're 17, it absolutely won't matter, much in the same way when I stopped going to my first job flipping burgers mattered to my current long-standing career in tech it didn't. If you work that shift, How much will you make after taxes? Is that amount worth it, or is there something you could be doing at that time that is more worth it? There's your answer. No,